The year is 2020. My name is Jason, and I want to become a wedding filmmaker. I'm 45 years old, I'm married, I have a son, I have a full-time job, we just bought a new house, and I already have another part-time job. Think I can do it? Let's find out. Hey guys, welcome to the channel Wedding Film Goals. My name is Jay, and this channel is all about documenting my growth as a wedding filmmaker as I build a part-time business filming weddings. So who is this channel for? It's designed for people who are maybe in their first year or year and a half of wedding filmmaking, all the way down to someone who is just considering getting into wedding films and wants to learn about some of the tips, tricks, and strategies of getting into the wedding film industry. Now, as I said in the beginning of this video, I myself am an aspiring wedding filmmaker, so I will be growing right along with you. And what are some of my objectives and goals for this channel? Number one, I'd like to build community with all of the other younger, newer wedding filmmakers. So many other resources out there speak to wedding film businesses, and not a lot of stuff is being done for the brand new person who has never went to film school and knows very little about cameras. I'm not saying I know a ton about cameras, but I know a little bit, and I would like to share what I know, and hopefully as we build a community here, you can share what you know with the community as well. I'd like to also share some tips and strategies for breaking into the wedding film industry. Now, remember, I'm figuring out these tips and strategies as we go along, so the things that I'm doing, I'm going to be sharing with you, and of course, I hope that you share with us as well. I'd also like to share some resources for the very new, very early on wedding filmmaker in terms of courses and other YouTube channels that can serve as a resource for learning how to use your camera, learning how to edit, learning how to run your business. These are some of the things that I have been taking advantage of, and I'd like to share them with you. I'd also like to engage in some interviews here. So as this is a community of early young wedding filmmakers in their first year and a half of business or earlier, I hope to bring on some more experienced wedding filmmakers who can really specify and talk about what they would do if they were starting a wedding film business today. So what are the tips, tricks, and strategies they recommend for getting started in your first few weddings and building a business, building a portfolio, and getting people to trust you to shoot their wedding. So hopefully we get some people to come on and give us some advice. I also hope to interview some of you guys, some of the very new filmmakers who are, again, about a year, maybe a year and a half in, who can provide some guidance and some of the tips and tricks that they're using to get into the industry. I'd like to interview you and have you come on the show and share some of your insights, some of your struggles, some of your questions, and let's figure this thing out together. Social media is another big thing that is part of the wedding film industry, and so I'd like to talk about some strategies for boosting your business and using social media to get your name out there, and what are some of the platforms that people are using to get their name out there, and how can we use any of those different platforms to begin building a brand, building some trust and some relatability so that people can come in and notice your business and take advantage of it. But how do we get started on that, right? Social media is a huge monster. So I hope to discuss some of those tips and tricks with you guys here. Again, I'm not the expert. I'm growing this right now. I'm flying this ship as I'm building it. So with your help and maybe with the help of some other experts, we can learn some social media tips and tricks that will help grow our business. Behind the scenes. So although I am an aspiring wedding filmmaker, I still hope to provide you guys with some behind the scene looks at what I'm doing in terms of editing, what I'm doing in terms of preparing for a wedding the night before, what do I do the day after, or the morning after a wedding, maybe even some behind the scenes tips and tricks or behind the scenes looks at what I'm actually doing while I'm on a wedding. So that is the goal. And so just to give you guys some behind the scene insight to kind of what I'm trying to do as I'm building this ship. And finally, balance. As I mentioned at the top of this broadcast, I am 45 years old, married with a kid, with a new house and another full-time job. Many of you guys are in the same position. And so how do we balance these things? How do we balance maintaining a relationship with your wife and your family? How do we maintain keeping steady at our job while trying to start a second business? If you have a second job like I do, I have 2 jobs. How do we manage that while also trying to build a wedding film business? So balance is the key. Everybody says it, so I guess it's true, but I'm finding that it's certainly time management and balancing your time between all of the responsibilities that you have, as well as taking care of yourself. Time for you is super important. So how do all these things balance out? Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that if you are a new or aspiring wedding filmmaker, you can come on, you can subscribe to the community, jump in, provide some comments, and provide your insight, because as I myself am a new wedding filmmaker, I hope to learn not only from some of the experts that we hope to talk to in this channel, but also some of you guys. Sticking together is the best way to learn, and yeah, let's learn together. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with other young or new wedding filmmakers that you know, and hopefully we can build this thing together.